Hi, welcome to AFTV. I got Frank with me. We've just lost 2-0 to Liverpool at the Emirates, out of the FA Cup. I don't even know where to begin. We always do like fan cans and we talk. We always have a little joke, have a laugh. There's not really much laughing going on, especially within the studio at the moment. It's not a good time right now for Arsenal, Frank.
No, absolutely. And the thing that it's the hope that kills you in the end of the day. Look, we looked at this game, and obviously while we had a fairly weakened team, obviously with the absences of Zinchenko, to be fair, I wouldn't even consider that absence a weakness at the moment. You look at that Liverpool team. No Van Dijk, no Salah. They had youth players starting the game in Kwanzaa. They took the piss and ended up bringing on youth players at the end of the game. That was to almost even take it to Anfield, but they've ended up beating us today. It's not good enough, Cecil. And what's happened? Because we were top of the table at Christmas. It's not even been a month, and now all of a sudden there's people saying, we might not get top four. We're out of both cup competitions, and we're not. I know we're a full favourite for the Champions League, but it's still a little bit of a long shot in that sense. And it's just.
Is it an overreaction or is that fair? Fans talking about not top four now. We're actually in crisis.
Yeah. Do you know what? I would say it's a bit of an overreaction, but we're in a position now where we can only realistically afford to lose 1 or 2 games more in the league if we're going to continue a title challenge. And like I said, we're not massive favourites for the Champions League. So while I'd normally disagree and say it's a bit of an overreaction, I think people have got a right to be saying that at this point, because it was all roses before Christmas, and now out of nowhere we're out of both cup competitions. I really thought we could have gone and pushed on and won the FA Cup this season as a minimum expectation. We're out in the third round, which is becoming a little bit of a pattern in recent years. We're the most successful FA Cup team in FA Cup history, and now
doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like it. And it's. I don't know what to say.
I know it's the emotions are high at the moment. I understand, it's frustrating, and I think you started it so well by saying the hope is the hope that kills you, because we had such high expectations for this team, but that is inexcusable. The losing at home to a Liverpool side that was fielded today. You have to admit that.
Absolutely, and it's weird because I don't think overall performance was shocking as per se. Don't get me wrong, we definitely fell off in that second half, but that first half performance, when we should have been 3 or 4-0 up anyways with the chances we had, we've forgotten how to finish. That's ultimately what this is. Well, how many goals is that in the last 3 or 4 games? 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah. Has everyone forgotten how to? Because people argue it's a striker's job to score, but if not, Arsenal are normally good at sharing the goals amongst the team, but it's like no one's doing it.
Clearly, because like you said, we haven't got any players that have scored a vast amount of goals this season. The goals are quite fairly shared around the team, and at the moment, it looks like no one can score. And what's the best way to address a scoring problem? Go and get a striker that knows how to score goals. And what we've done is we've put ourselves in a situation. I think Turkish summed it up very well in the watch along. We spent £65 million on Kai Havertz, and we've got these financial fair play issues. Arteta's sort of shot himself in the foot here, because we're now in a position where it's very clear. It was very clear in the summer that we needed another striker, but now we're in January. We've got very limited options in terms of players that we're going to be able to afford. Because you look at the likes of Victor Osimhen, who's just signed the new deal with a £150 million release clause. That doesn't look achievable. Brentford are going to want Ivan Toney for £100 million or so, and that doesn't look achievable with the financial fair play issues. Ollie Watkins is probably going to be about the same.
Yep.
We're going to get Dominic Solanke, no. And even then, can we afford to pay the prices that Bournemouth are going to want to pay? Bournemouth are going to want us to pay, considering the financial fair play restraints. And it's just, we're in a really awkward situation now. And, while I will praise Mikel Arteta for all the work that he's done to get us back to, a title challenging team, he's really shot himself in the foot here, and he needs to work out a solution to get us out of it.
So on him more than the players for you?
In terms of the whole striker situation and the way we tactically set up and stuff like that, yes. But there's even blame to give here. I keep saying it. I've said it for the last 3 or 4 interviews as well. That front, the attacking four, while they're played a little bit better in this game, but the output and the end product is just not where it should be. Martin Odegaard today looked fantastic on the ball, not as much shimmying and stuff like that, but that chance where there's the scramble, obviously I think it's the one where I think Havertz wins the ball, or Bukayo wins the ball, Havertz puts it into Nelson, Nelson gets the shot off, fantastic block from Konate, then it comes to Odegaard, from point blank range, hits the crossbar. He's got to be finishing chances like that. It's not good enough. And Bukayo Saka, while he played fantastically in the first half for me, once again, fell off in that second half. He's normally the guy that we look to towards the end of a game to get us a goal or an assist. And that didn't look like it was coming at any point. Martinelli, when he came on, 10 minutes or so, done great. All of a sudden, disappeared. out of nowhere. And then, you know, Havertz up top, you know, it's not his position. I don't really think after the last 2 games he should have any sort of position in the starting 11. And maybe it was just, you know, a lucky run of form from Kai Havertz. You know? I think maybe, I myself included, got a little bit excited about, you know, the whole 4 goals in 7 games. It looks to be back to old Kai Havertz again. I think he's up to 22 appearances now. 5 goals, 1 assist. Nowhere near £65 million worth.